Good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Rosa, go outside and talk. Sorry. Hey, Bumbles. Hi, Gina. Hi, Jordan. Welcome in, angels. You're just going to listen to them. Mama, I'll be back. Mm-hmm. Hello. Welcome in. I created a little ditty for our community this morning, right before class. Hi, Buddha. Hi, darling. So I'm going to go ahead and start that since I got 3 pillars in here this morning. It's called the Butterfly Sanctuary. So here we go. And I got to show you something really cool after the song. Here we go. Oops, let me put it on my big speaker. There we go. One silent caterpillar on a single leaf. That wasn't it, but that's something else. Hi, Irish. Hi, beautiful. And rising. When the morning greets the rising sun, another sacred day has just begun. We gather here with open hearts, each soul a light, each flame a spark, a place where peace becomes our way, where love is lived in what we say. With unity and deep respect, we build tomorrow step by step. The butterflies are taking flight, together shining through the night. No soul is ever left behind. One heart, one family, one life. Welcome to the Butterfly Sanctuary, where every soul remembers who they are. 333, our hearts are beating, lighting hope like endless stars. Christ conscious collective rising, hand in hand across the earth, holding frequencies of heaven, knowing every soul has worth. We're building love, we're building peace, we're building heaven here on earth. Each morning wisdom lights the way with cards and messages every day. Ascended masters softly guide, archangels always by our side. The council's whisper, stand as one, until the work of love is done. Every reading, every song reminds us where our hearts belong. The dragons stir the ancient flame, calling each of us by name. Remember who you've always been. The light has always lived within. Welcome to the Butterfly Sanctuary, where every soul remembers who they are. 333, our hearts are beating. Hey, Missy Marie. Christ conscious collected rising, hand in hand across the earth, holding frequencies of heaven, knowing every soul has a worth. We're building humans' hearts unfolding, ancient wisdom newly born, walking gently with creation, greeting every sacred dawn. Welcome to the butterfly sanctuary, where every soul remembers who they are. Free, 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 forever shining, lighting hope like in the stars. Christ conscious collective rising, every nation, every land. Peace and love, unity restore.
Yeah, this is our song.
Walking forward, hand in hand. Every prayer, every heartbeat, every kindness, every soul. Together we are holding heaven until the whole world sings along. The flame remembers, the heart remembers, the earth remembers. Welcome home.
Beautiful. All right. Let's see. We're going to do When the Dragons Sing. Okay. Oh, I wanted to show you something, though. And I'm going to play that song, too. Okay, let me stop this for a moment. Because I'm going to turn it down. But when I was creating that this morning, which I had help from Spirit, of course, I looked in my messages and I had a message from someone that I follow on here. And they had just made a song. Let me show you what song they just made. This was total confirmation. I got to find it. Okay, where is it? Oh, there he is. It's called Seven Tree Music. And the song that they had just made was called The Field of Butterflies. Right there. I got to show you. Right there. And look. Oh, no, it was Phoenix Rising. It was Phoenix Rising, The Field of Butterflies. So I found that right after I created the Butterfly Sanctuary song. So I was like, holy cow. So I'm going to go ahead and play that one too, because it's really good in the background as we do our cards. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was really cool. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and do our cards, our tidbits of wisdom from Spirit. Let me make sure we're all good over on YouTube. I think we are. Okay. Push this over a little bit. Okay. Here is our chakra wisdom card, right? I thought it was super cool. Chakra wisdom. Third eye, knowledge. Yes. I recognize that a great deal of knowledge and information comes to me in the form of intuition, such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, and hypersensitive feelings. I use my intellect combined with my intuition to delve into circumstances from a philosophical and spiritual viewpoints. Hi, Sharon. Hi, darling. Hi, Brandy. Hi, beautiful angels. I aim to understand the truth behind situations that come my way, as this helps me to respond with wisdom. I cultivate positive beliefs about life, myself, and others. Yes. Yes. You know what you're going through, Irish? My daughter's going through the same thing right now. I swear it is the Schumann doing this. It's bringing out the best and the worst in people. It really is. And my daughter's husband, it brought out the worst in him. And she says she's not dealing with it anymore. So I don't blame her. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. So her and Chunk are here for a little while. And that's okay. Because she's going through a rebirth. It happens. I did. I went through a rebirth back in 2016. It happens. It's part of it. Here is our healing energy. Our healing energy. Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, Missy Marie, what we either do is, if we've been with them a long time, we just, we surf through the waves, right? My husband, it's funny because my husband tries to get snippy with me. Okay, so yesterday, he just bought a new computer chair because his computer chair was falling apart. It happens, He's a bigger boy, so he bought himself a nice computer chair. And I was in there, talking to him as he's building it, and he got grumpy with me. So I walked away. I said, okay, I will let you do it. You do your thing, and I'm going to walk away. I said, if you need me, just ask for me, right? And then he asked for me to come in and help him with something he couldn't bend over anymore. His back's really, really bad. He couldn't bend over anymore, so he asked me to help him with that. Well, he got grumpy with me again, and I'm like, I just laughed at him. I was like, are you seriously going to ask me to do something and then get grumpy with me? And then I just laughed. And he started laughing. So we have to kind of move through the waves of the grumpiness from the husbands. Yes, Missy Marie. My husband does that too. They're going through it. The divine masculine. They're going through it, and we have to roll with the punches here. But we got this. We got this, right? Yes. I have been praying for Sunset Childs to get power back on. Did they have a storm or something that she lost power? Is that what's going on? She had a storm? Oh my goodness, yes. I've been without power for 2 weeks before because of a storm. So I know what boat she's in, and that's not a good boat when it's really, really hot out, which it has been super hot. So, yeah. All right. Oh, this is pretty. This is really good music. I'll leave this on. Okay. We're going to let just spirit guide us to the music today. Hi, Mama Yaya. Hi, beautiful. All right. Here is our healing energy. Attention. What the heck is that? No, we're not doing no matches. What the heck? I've never seen that before. That was weird. I don't do matches. All right. Attention. I'm attentive to all that manifests within me. When negativity rises within me, I transform it into light, love, and hope. My love for others is unconditional. I forgive. My desire to improve is constant. I am firm, brave, and hardworking. Yes. Manifestation of light. Manifestation of light. I see the beauty in me. I grow and develop my inner self in harmony with light and beauty. I free myself from negativity. My heart transforms. My intellect shines. And my inner light grows. Yes. Hi, Teresa. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Jules. Hi, darling. Hello. Welcome in. Learning to love myself. I choose to see the beauty in me. Yes, they're awesome. Hi, Irish. I love these cards too. My wealth lies in my nature and potential. I transform my weaknesses into strengths. I realize that I am a being of light and I allow myself to shine. Yes. Allow yourself to shine. Absolutely. This is called Bransford Forever. Okay. Here is our Starseed Oracle. Our Starseed Oracle says, lifting the veil. Yes. Questioning everything, even the questions. Anything unaligned must go. Lift the veil. Star bathing. Light body, crystal grid, transmission and activation. Yes, DNA activation. That's what's happening within all of us. And all paths lead home. All of them. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Yes, we are being activated. Hi, Ashley. Hi, beautiful. Can we even see that in? Oh, we can't even see that. They can't even see that on. Now they can. Okay, all paths lead home. No grumpy bear vibes. Grumpy bear can be cute. He can be cute. It's okay to get grumpy once in a while. All right, that's about Texas. That song was about Texas. Okay. Here we go. We're going to start over. The Flame Remembers. This is also this was my very first song I ever created. It's one of my favorites. We do love Grumpy Bear. Grumpy Bear is Forest Fairy's little sidekick, where Wish Bear's mine. Isn't that funny that we both have Care Bears for our sidekicks? All right, here's our Work Your Light. Our Work Your Light. Mm-hmm. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. You are already doing it. Yes. Wish Bear has been my Care Bear for years, since I was a little girl. It was my favorite. My mom made me a Wish Bear pillow when I was like 8 or 9, something like that. And I had that pillow forever, but it started falling apart because she filled it with real feathers. And so it did fall apart eventually, but I had it for the longest time. All right, take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. If you feel like you need a break, take it. And get grounded. Yes, I was just going to say, ground your energy. Empaths, highly sensitive. Connect with nature. Connect with nature. Lucky Bear, yeah. Wish Bear, yep. Same bear, I think. Yep. And here is our Spirit Junkie. Spirit Junkie says, all that I need is coming to me in ways I could never have imagined. Yes. All that I need is coming to me in ways I could never have imagined. Yes. All right, here is our animal for the day. Our animal is the lynx. Keeper of secrets. Take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. Yes. Here is our crystal. Our crystal for the day is garnet. Yes, purification and detoxification. It's time to release physical and energetic toxins from your life. I guess that answers a lot of questions, right? Time to release physical and energetic toxins from your life. Yes. All right, here's for the love of dragons. As above, so below. You have turned a 5D key and walked through this door. This is the Butterfly Sanctuary door. So you have used that key right there that dragon holds. This is 3D, upside down, the inverted world. That's that key. Whatever doors you're opening are either 3D or 5D. All programs on the planet are either 3D or 5D and above. Okay? The Fountain, card 17. The Fountain. Yes. The Fountain. Butterflies making every soul alive is making side by side. The Fountain. There is an adage that says water doesn't wash, it remembers. Water and its propensity for memory has the power to clarify through remembering you to your original state. Now is the time for deep remembering. Go to the river or ocean. Seek out a fountain. Drink deeply from the sacred chalice. Water is a dragon's best friend as it keeps the fires of passion in balance. The waters of consciousness are beckoning you today to step out of your circumstances and into your deeper truth. Your situation doesn't define who you are. You do. Yes. Your situation doesn't define who you are. You do. All right. Oh, this is called Horizons Yet to Shine. Pretty. All right. Hey, Stargazer. What's up, beautiful? Here's our awakened dreamer. Our awakened dreamer. Let go. As you awaken, you become aware of the never-ending conveyor belt of bliss. When you absorb the nectar of each gift and release it when it's time to let go, you realize attachment comes from not trusting there's always more where that came from. Yes, let go. Here is our butterfly for the day. I don't compare myself to others because I am not meant to be a copy of anyone else. I was born to be me, an original, one of a kind. I am happy to be me. Yes, beautiful, beautiful message. Be happy to be you because there's only one of you. And here is our beautiful first ascended master coming in, and it's Kalima, facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. Yes, it is. It is your chance to soar. You're either going to soar or sink. You're either going to soar or sink. You make that choice. Are you going to soar or are you going to sink? All right. Spirit has me pull a Lyran Oracle on Tuesdays. A Lyran Oracle on Tuesdays. So, color spectrums. Self-expression movement, letting out emotions. Letting out emotions. That is card 21, which is a 3. Mm-hmm. Begin to simply observe the reality you find yourself in, and you will soon be reminded how blessed one is to observe this fantastic display of color frequency that swirls around and illuminates all in your reality. Vibrating as different octaves in the living field around you. These vibrations of color dance with your senses and influence the way that you interact with the life itself. Each color adheres to a specific vibrational frequency, and through these pulsations, they interact with your auric field and soon enter into your physical temple to impact your health, emotions, well-being, and psyche. To be aware of your interaction with the color spectrums provides you with the ability to decode whether the environment around you is empowering your life or not. Know, dear starseed, that your environment, specifically the colors around you, are constantly interacting with your consciousness to influence all parts of your life. We deliver this communication as an encouragement for one to explore their relationship to specific colors and embed around themselves specific colors to uplift their environment and life. This can mean to wear certain colors or visualize colors that serve you in the moment. Although this may sound simplistic, these small changes will harmonize your life greatly as the color spectrums serve as pillars of impact. In addition to the above, this card can represent moving locations, redesigning your interior space, or serving as an indication that your life is in need of a major shakeup. It is time to add some spice in your life and shake up your routine. Change the colors in your field and begin this process. Be authentic, self-expression, movement, dance, letting out emotions, shifting, freedom, new opportunities, and art. Yes. You can also enter into a quiet meditative state by calming your body through nourishing breaths. Do breath work. Yes. All right. Speaking of dance, let's play a dance song, shall we? This song makes you want to get up and dance, kind of like Oracle Nomads. Full disclosure, you can't listen to that song without wanting to get up and dance. Color spectrum, yes. All right. Let's see what other Ascended Masters have messages for us today. Yes. Imagination. Your imagination is your connection to your higher self. It sure is. All right. Let's see. I know Yeshua's come in. Love is never diminished by being shared. When you encourage another soul to shine, your own light does not grow smaller. That's right. That's right. I want to just emphasize this. Let's see. I'm going to do that because that activates your crown chakra. Love is never diminished by being shared. When you encourage another soul to shine, your own light does not grow smaller. It grows brighter. Encourage others to shine, guys. Today's invitation is to look for someone who needs encouragement. A kind word, a sincere compliment, or simply listening can become a turning point in another person's day. Yes. Listen, but always lift others up. Always. Mary Magdalene says, do not hide your gifts until they are perfect. They become refined through loving expression and from using them. Yes, as you use your gifts, they become stronger. Your collective has begun creating songs, artwork, and messages that carry each person's unique voice. The reminder is that authenticity touches hearts more deeply than perfection. Yes. Oh my gosh. One of you beautiful angels made a video and of one of the songs that we had created. And listening to that song, even though she had captions on there and some of the words were wrong, right? She remade it so that the words were right. But you know what I told her? I said they were both perfect because they were made with love. Things don't have to be 100% perfect because they're always made with love, right? It's just like when I create my resin goods, sometimes there's a bubble or two in them. It happens. Resin is not easy to get all the bubbles out. So it is perfectly imperfect. And that's what makes it perfect. If you want perfection, go get something commercially made. Okay? Things that are created by hand have those little imperfections which make them perfect. Kuan Yin says, compassion begins with the way you speak to yourself. That's right. Being authentic is not perfections. Yes. Right, Sharon? Right. Compassion begins with the way you speak to yourself. If you notice self-criticism today, gently replace it with curiosity. Growth flourishes in kindness. Yes. The archangels, Michael, I lend you courage, not to become someone different, but to stand confidently as who you already are. He invites your butterflies to release old doubts that no longer serve them. Raphael, healing often begins with rest. Not every step forward requires striving. Sometimes the next breakthrough comes after allowing yourself space to breathe, reflect, or simply enjoy the beauty around you. Speak the dream aloud, whether through song, prayer, writing, or conversation. Giving voice to a heartfelt vision can strengthen your commitment to it. Yes, exactly, Teresa, and it's all beautiful. The councils, the Council of Golden Harmony. We are witnessing many small lights learning that they are not isolated flames, but part of one great fire. This feels especially meaningful for your Friday gatherings. Each soul contributes something different, and together they create a warmth that no individual could produce alone. That's absolutely true. The dragon councils, the dragons seem joyful today. Rather than a call to battle, the images of dragons soaring above a meadow, their wings stirring the air as butterflies rise together. Their message is, do not underestimate celebration. Joy anchors light, just as surely as discipline does. They encourage dancing, laughter, music, and sharing stories, not as distractions, but as practices that strengthen community. I love that, Ashley. Yes. Yes, I am not perfect. I am me. Yes. Yes, me too. I always say when I let TikTok pick my music, I let them pick my music, and I'm like, Spirit, pick that. Because it always makes total sense why that music was picked. It's absolutely perfect for what it is, right? A collective reflection. Today's image is of a butterfly resting on an open hand. It's not held tightly, nor does it immediately fly away. Trust allows the moment to exist. The invitation is to ask, Where can I replace control with trust today? Sometimes the most beautiful transformations happen when we create the right conditions and allow life to unfold. Allowing life to unfold. It's not always easy. It's not always easy, and it can be the biggest lessons that we get. Yep. Hi, Flower Power. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Lisa. May your hearts remember that every act of kindness is a thread in a greater tapestry. May your voices become songs of hope. May your laughter become medicine. May your courage inspire another to begin. May your community continue to remind one another that transformation is most powerful when it is shared. And as Sarinel whispered this morning, the flame remembers. May each butterfly remember the light that they carry within. Yes, beautiful. We all carry a beautiful light inside of us. So let's talk some more. We got into this yesterday, so we're gonna continue today. I don't know how long it's gonna take us to get through this, but we're gonna get through it. It is an interview with the Sisterhood of the Rose and the creator of Portal 2012, which I've followed for many, many years. So this is basically intel for all a ground crew. So there are many of you that know you are ground crew, and there are some that don't know you're ground crew. But I'm telling you now, if you're in this room, all 20 of you are ground crew because you're meant to hear this message. I always set intention in this room for whoever is meant to hear the messages will come, because the door is always open. You turn your 5D keys and you end up in the Butterfly Sanctuary. Hi, VX. Hi, beautiful. I love you too. So we're going to circle back to the new heaven and new earth. We're going to talk about the keys to new heaven and new earth. What are the specific qualities of each of these keys? And why are these two keys and their merger so important at this time? Yes, 936 Manifest. He says, okay, new heaven key is the one that has been born on. I would say created or born on August 11th, 1999. At the moment of the total solar eclipse. And its name says everything. It's new heaven. It's like the key which transforms the cosmos. It eats up darkness. It removes darkness. It creates a universe where only light exists, where only positivity exists. The new earth key is a subset of that key and is especially created. It was born on August 21st of last year. Wow. And it was especially created for the surface of this planet because the conditions here are unique. It's a quarantine planet and it needs a little bit different key. This one is more grounded. It is more physical and it anchors absolutely positive energies into the physical matter and on the surface of the planet. She says, I'm curious, do other planets have this new heaven key? And he says, yes, of course. It's very much present throughout the universe right now. She says, right, okay, that makes sense. How can surface humanity use these keys in their daily lives? This is something we should pay attention to. How should we use these keys in our daily lives? I tell you guys all the time, you hold keys and codes. So we have been given these keys for a reason. If you connect to those energies, you can experience quite strong healing. For example, if you connect with a new heaven key, you can get inspiration. You can get contact with your higher self. You can get a lot of healing. And with the new earth key, you can accelerate the manifestation process. especially abundance, and any manifestation related to your physical life. People had strong breakthroughs in their financial situations and other situations using that key. And she said, what is your suggestion on how best to use these keys? So he says, we do many meditations using those keys. And you can go through that, and there are many guidelines how to use those. So use the keys in meditation. And she says, okay, thank you. How will the New Earth key and New Heaven key be impacting the big movements in July? Will they strengthen this ascension portal opening, for example? And what other effects will these keys have on us during the next few months? He says basically both of those keys will be the main energies that will be interplaying during this process in July. So New Heaven key will be getting stronger, and New Earth key will be getting stronger, and they will be interacting with each other and strengthening each other, and they will be working in resonance with the 3 outer planets of the solar system. And the combination of all that is the energy signature of this activation on July 25th, when we're doing our meditations at 11:11 a.m. and 11:11 p.m. She says, okay, thank you. What's the connection between the key of New Earth and bubbles of heaven? And what about the difference between bubbles of heaven and the new paradise energy you recently spoke about? He says, I would say bubbles of heaven are the early manifestations of a new heaven key that is connected to the new earth. This was attempted in 2019. It failed because the surface population was not ready. It was not able to anchor those energies. And now this will be anchored in a different way. So bubbles of heaven will be manifested a little bit differently than it was originally planned. It will be a different approach to the same situation, I would say. She says, can we consciously create bubbles of heaven in our life by combining New Heaven and New Earth keys energy? And if so, how should we do that? He says, yes, we can do that by meditating and connecting those 2 energies in the same way as we will do at the moment of our peak activation on July 25th. Deborah says, okay, so you've stated that opal is the stone that activates and anchors the energies of New Heaven, and that it is like a liquid crystal, not fully crystallized, that it is frozen liquid light, which sounds pretty cool. How is it that it can be frozen liquid light, and what is its relationship to solar flares? Can you speak more about this special stone? And he says, okay, strict from a physical perspective, it is something very similar to a liquid crystal. Etherically speaking, the atomic structure of opal holds non-physical light, and opals were created in past solar flashes. When the sun went micronova, there was a strong, I would say, explosion of particles that reached the surface of the planet, penetrated underground in something that was similar to lightning, and have changed the atomic structure of the rock which was existing there. And opals hold the energy signature of those past solar flashes. So this is a very special stone indeed. Wow, Jules, that's amazing. And she says it sounds like it. So while opals anchor the energy of the new heaven, emeralds anchor the energy of the new earth. And they can be used to connect to the Agarthan network during meditation. Can we visualize an opal becoming a portal that leads us to heaven or angelic cosmic beings in meditations? Cobra says, yes, exactly. That is the purpose of the opal. She says, beautiful. What about consciously creating bubbles of heaven in our daily lives by using opals and emeralds together? And he says, yes, this can be very effective. She says, okay, thank you. Now that the emerald flame has become available for the surface population since last year, will we be using an opal flame or ray in the near future? And if so, what are the characteristics of it? He says this might be possible at a certain point, but we are not there yet. We're not there yet. We got to hang on. Okay, she says, okay. Over the last 3 years, light workers have carried out many projects related to the planetary light grid, such as the Goddess Equator, Global Dragon Ley Lines, New Renaissance, WESAC, Emerald Light, Knights Templar, and the Golden Timeline. How can light workers use the key of New Heaven now to consolidate and even enhance the results of these projects? He says they can visualize the images of New Heaven being anchored in all those places where the past grid work was done. She says, okay. At the Australia workshop, you mentioned that the key of New Earth is meant to create the Lemurian paradise. Many people are still unfamiliar with Lemuria. Would you please describe the history, geographical location, and its relationship with the Atlantean civilization? He says Lemuria was located in the Pacific Ocean, and it was a civilization that existed before Atlantis. It was basically a civilization of paradise when many cosmic beings landed in their spaceships on Earth and were guiding humanity in perfect harmony. So this is like the paradise which most people remember, and it will be recreated again on the next level. And she says, beautiful. Since there's an old equator from the Atlantean era, is there also an old equator from the Lemurian era? And he says there are many, because there were many polar shifts in that time frame. She says, okay. Would it be beneficial to bury tachyonized opals along this equator or in those areas? He says, I would simplify this and say for this purpose, it is most beneficial to bury opals in the Pacific region. All countries that border the Pacific Ocean and especially the Pacific Islands. And she says, okay, great. Master Saint Germain is in charge of Project New Atlantis in the Atlantic region. Which ascended being is in charge of supervising the New Earth project in the Pacific region? He says there is a being which is called Ramu, and he's overseer of that project. Deborah says, would you spell that, please? Ramu. Okay, thank you. In the instructions for the 1221 Ascension Portal Activation Part 2 meditation, we are to visualize a wave of opalescent blue light of the new heaven descending from the sky into our heart chakra. All cosmic beings of light supporting this process. Then we visualize a wave of emerald green light of the new earth ascending from the earth into our heart chakra, with all subterranean big beings of light supporting this process. Then we visualize both energies merging in our heart chakra and creating a field of opalescent blue-green energy of paradise around us. Would you discuss the meaning and power of this opalescent blue-green energy of paradise? He says that energy is the energy of the 12th ray. This is the energy which will anchor the perfect archetype for our future. This is like the best possible super golden, the best possible timeline for the planet. It is, I would say, the most possible positive energy. She says, beautiful. Is this light from above and light from below meeting on the surface symbolic of how you've described compression breakthrough? And if so, how much closer will it bring us to compression breakthrough? He says, I would say this is the initial phase of the compression breakthrough itself. So it is, I would say, a very advanced preparatory stage of the compression breakthrough. That's right. You guys get it. You guys know. She says, okay, great. This opalescent blue-green color feels like such a beautiful, magical color. Is this why some people are so passionately drawn to natural, clear, sparkling turquoise water and the beaches that meet this water, found in places like Bora Bora? I mean, most people think this is nice, but I'm talking about the people that seem obsessed with this gift from nature. Could this be a knowing or even a memory of living during the times of Lemuria? He says this is a knowing, a memory, and a vision for the future. And of course, people are drawn to this because this is the most possible positive energy, and people are naturally drawn to this. She says, okay, great. Is it likely that light workers intuitively drawn to this could reside someday in an island of light in some of these areas? He says, yes, of course, that is possible. The event, Islands of Light and Ascension. Let me just say that this is for entertainment purposes only. This is our game and this is how we play it. She says, very good. So in terms of asking what the current time frame is for when Islands of Light will be formed, I'd like to speak a little bit about the event and Ascension, because there is a burning question that everyone has. In your announcement about the 1221 Ascension Portal Activation Part 2, you mentioned that one aspect of this process will be an update and upgrade of the event and Ascension plan for this planet. And we would definitely like to hear more about this. Would you please share specifically, as much as you can, what those updates and upgrades are? He says, I don't know what this update will be. Actually, nobody knows. It will be something new. The only thing that is known is that it will come on July 25th. There will be an upgrade, an update, an improvement of the plan. But the thing is, the closer we get to the event, the less intel can be publicly released, because obviously this is the end game. And I would not want to give any intel to dark forces about what the plans of the light forces are, what exactly they will do, how we'll do it, and when they will. She says, sure, that makes sense. Do you feel like maybe some additional information might be able to be released after July 25th? He says, it is possible. She says, okay, to what extent does reaching critical mass during this portal activation affect these upgrades and updates? He says it can affect them because there were situations in the past when critical mass was reached and some upgrades happened that others otherwise would not. She says, okay, I have to ask you, how much closer will this activation move us toward the event? Is it possible that it could even trigger it? He says, I don't see the event being possible at that moment, but I would say that if this activation is successful, it can bring the event months closer than would otherwise be possible. So it can reduce the waiting time for a few months at least. She says, okay. Would you care to share with us your prediction on a possible time frame? He says, no, I will never do that again. I will never do that again. People get disappointed. I'm not God. I don't know everything. Nobody does. And people get disappointed. And they many times misinterpret and misuse my words even. So I don't want to talk about any of those predictions anymore. She says, I understand. I have a feeling you were going to say that. I just had so many people ask me if I would ask you. So I had to. All right, let me ask you something else. You've suggested we study the manifestation teachings of Kevin Trudeau, and I will be doing some research on this. In an interview on his YouTube channel, he mentioned that what you desire most often appears when you least expect it. Now you've stressed the importance of working on the golden timeline. So if light workers work on actively manifesting their personal golden timeline, improving their lives materially and spiritually, meanwhile treating the event as an extra bonus in life, how will this mindset actually accelerate the manifestation of the event? He says the main thing is if people manifest their golden timeline, this is the best approach towards the event because then they will be less stressed. They will be more balanced. And this is exactly the energy which is needed for the event to happen. She says, okay, that makes sense. You've mentioned a time portal in which through a revised time loop, events in the future can influence the past. Would you elaborate more about this portal as well as what the relationship is to this emphasis you've given us to create a golden timeline for ourselves and the planet? He says, okay, I don't think it's time yet to talk about this in detail, but I would just say, if you are manifesting your golden timeline, there is a moment in the future when that timeline is already manifested and that the future is sending a signal to your present self. But there is much more to this I'm not allowed to talk about yet. She says, okay, might this upcoming Ascension portal activation intensify some of the transmissions, these signals from the future to create a more positive timeline? He says, it is possible. She says, okay, well, yeah, I was going to ask if we could activate this time portal with our intention, allowing our ascended selves to travel back for assistance. But you're saying it's potentially too soon to discuss this. He says, yes, it's too soon. She says, okay, thank you. Would you please share any updates regarding first contact, both on a physical level and the non-physical level? He says, I would say that the positive extraterrestrial races are finally getting excited about this. It is getting closer. They are preparing for this. And before the first contact happens, there will be a certain disclosure process, which is already underway. Hi, Betty. Hi, darling. And Deborah says, yes, we can tell. I was going to ask you about that shortly anyway. Is it still the plan by the Pleiadians to contact individuals, to go to the mass media and create a critical mass for first contact? And will these still only be those people who own private land and participate in Contact Dish, or might others be contacted? He says, so now there will not only be Pleiadians, there will be other races that will contact individuals, that will go to the mass media. And the Contact Dish project is just one of the projects that is part of this first contact process. She says, okay, so you're saying there is potential that others may be contacted, even if he says, yes. She says, okay, thank you. There are a few questions about life after the event. What's approximately the time frame to integrate advanced technology into the general public after the event? He says, I would say a few years. Hi, Kelly. I see you. Hi, Pepsi. Hi, beautiful. How are you feeling? Been sending lots of prayers to you, darling. He says, I would say a few years. She says, okay. Would you please describe these things that we'll have access to once we gain this official access so that we can incorporate these images and ideas into our personal golden timeline meditation? He says, okay. The most important one, of course, will be med beds, which will address the health situation of the surface population. There will be replicators. Those two are the main technologies that will be present. She says, yes, absolutely. Those I know everyone is looking forward to. Can we get an update on the medbed situation? I was going to ask you. There's a Telegram channel run by someone named Mr. Poole. I follow this guy too. I follow Mr. Poole because he is he's actually an ascended master on Earth who is giving updated knowledge about what's going on. That's a good channel to follow, Mr. Poole, who continually releases information about medbeds, and he recently stated that actual medbeds were moved from an underground facility to a location in the United States where some people are actually using them and receiving healing from them. Can you tell us anything about this? Cobra says, okay, Mr. Poole has, I would say, some limited access to some intel about the actual process of what's happening with medbeds, but not all of this is reliable. So I would say there are certain rumors which are trickling about the whole process. There's much more to it, but he's an indicator of how things are progressing to a degree. She says, okay, how far away are medbeds from being turned over to the general population? Is that still an after the event thing? He says, it needs to be safe, and it's not safe if the cabal is in power. So it needs to be safe enough for people who are being healed not to be unalived after the healing process is completed. She says that makes sense. So if they're not available until later or after the event, might it be possible that certain individuals could be teleported to a healing ship to use a med bed? Listen to this. I'm going to say that again. Okay. If they're not available until later or after the event, might it be possible that certain individuals could be teleported to a healing ship to use a med bed? We talk about this. It's called tachyon chambers. He says that that's even less likely. What is likely, and it will become likely quite soon, is that people will be teleported in their dreams without a physical body, in their astral body. They will receive healing in their astral body or even etheric body on the ship, and then taken back to their bed, physical one. That's something that will start happening quite soon, actually. It is already happening in certain circumstances. Certain people have been taken underground to healing chambers in their sleep and receiving healing. This is already happening. Yes. So she says, would you suggest if this is something that someone would like to experience, might we set an intention before going to sleep that we experience this? Yes. The answer is yes. Okay. Very good. Good to know. So once the med beds do become available, there's likely to be a huge rush for them. How will the order be determined for who gets an appointment? Will genuine voluntary commitment to the greater good play a role, or will it be based on one's own level of spiritual development or the current state of one's health? He says it will be a combination of various factors. The first one will be simply a distribution chain. So there will be certain locations where it'll be easier to deploy the med beds. And of course, there will be urgent cases that will be treated first. And then there will be various criteria who will be treated first, who will be treated second. But I would say it is a complex process. It is the same if you are admitted into a hospital. There is a certain procedure how you are accepted, where you go. So it will be similar to that. She says, okay. So will these med beds be in hospitals, or will there be specific purpose-built buildings? And will medical staff be deployed there? Or will people need to undergo a special training? Or maybe at that point, the light forces will be here operating them. He says again, It will be a combination of all of those. There will be certain med beds that will go to hospitals. There will be some that will be deployed to private buildings. There will be certain buildings built. So whatever needs to happen in the fastest and most effective way, people will undergo training. There will be some training necessary, but it will not be too complex because those machines are quite advanced. They don't need a lot of handling. So it will be quite easy to train people, to train the personnel to handle those machines. And at some point, the light forces will be present directly, but not in the initial phase. Okay. She says, okay, we hear various descriptions of these med beds. Apparently, some are like capsules that you lie down in for a while, while others are like a tank filled with a kind of vicious liquid that you have to breathe in. Could you share information on the med beds that we can use in the future, like how they work and also what effect they have, physically, heal, age reverse, detox? He says most of the med beds that will be introduced will be like capsules that you lay down and they will have various effects. Of course, what needs to happen is detox first. Then there will be some physical healing. And the more advanced models of the med beds will just reshuffle the atomic structure of the physical body. So they will be able to heal basically everything. She says, okay, great. What about mental and emotional issues, which often have their roots in physical imbalance? Will they be able to be treated as well? He says, to a certain degree, yes. So what will be able to be done is the removal of parasites, entities, and certain negative emotions, certain negative attachments, certain mental problems. But for emotional and mental healing, a lot more of conscious participation will be necessary. She says, yeah, I was just thinking that it's likely up to the individual working with their own consciousness to evolve in that way. So until we have access to med beds, what technology or protocols might we use to assist in physical healing? And he says, manifesting golden timeline, visualize perfect health, visualize healing, visualize. There are many techniques you can use. One of them is reality stacking, which it's a wild way to do that. You can use that to make your health each day 1% better. This is one of the approaches that is possible. Reality stacking. Okay, so we set intention that our healing, that our body is 1% better than it was the day before. We drink a little bit of water. We let that water go through our bodies. We do that every single day. Only ask for 1%. Step by step. Baby steps. It is called reality stacking. We've talked about it before in class. She says, okay, very good. Thank you. I know you mentioned earlier that you really can't say too much right now about any updates about the Ascension plan. I'm just wondering, is there anything you can share with us? Is there still expecting to be 3 waves of Ascension? He says, yes, the basic plan remains the same. The upgrades will be more operational, like immediate phases, which are the most critical ones at this point. She says, right. Well, I was going to ask you, at what point might we expect Ascension to begin? He says, so after the event, there will be I would say the group that will be training for the first wave. They will go through a certain purification process, and that will most likely take a few years. So they will be ready at that point, and then they will go. She says, people are wondering, will there be a time in between the event and Ascension for humanity to actually enjoy their lives in 3D without all the darkness, which has made our lives so difficult? And he says, yes, this is the plan, because many people have many dreams they would like to manifest. In the physical world, they would like to experience the joy of positive creation. And this is part of the plan. And she says, okay, great. What's the current plan for where the first island of light will be? And how many subsequent locations will there be and where? All right. We'll leave off right there. We learned a lot today about what's going to happen with the event. He can't give us a date, but I'm telling you, it's coming close. The date is coming close for the event. The event is the Great Solar Flash, for those of you that don't know. We have 33 people in here. For those of you that don't know about the Great Solar Flash, it's going to be a great light that comes through all people's chakras and opens all their portals at once. So we have to make sure that the population is ready for this, because it's going to completely exit some people. The ones that are very, very dark, it will completely exit them. They're all getting a second chance right now, though, because God has mercy on their souls, because he created them, right? He don't want to lose any of his children, and they are his children too, just as we are. All right, guys, it's 10:11. Let's go ahead and do our snaps for the day. This is our grid work. So this is all of us on this butterfly, and we work together to bring in these new codes, these new keys, and to use them together to empower ourselves and each other. This is our past loved ones. They're always with us. Anytime we think of them, they're with us. And this is us. Our hearts are open. And we have connected to our halo technology, which we get our downloads. Some people call them downloads. I call them ideas. Ideas from source energy, which is the great central sun. We also have this arc of golden energy around our planet. And we get activated from that golden arc into the golden butterflies. And we work with the Christos spiral. We are no longer working with the fib of Nochi. We're working with the Christos spiral. That is our flame codex being activated. And we go from earth, we work with earth, air, fire, water, and ether, because we are the alchemists. We go from 2-strand to 12-strand and beyond in our DNA. Our DNA is expanding. And this is also our room. We are watched over, guided, and protected every day. And this is a dragon that Katarina drew for us. It's toothless, but it symbolizes all the dragons that are here with us. And this is a door. And we go through the door, we become heart-centered and solar plexus-centered butterflies. Maya did that for us. And this is also our room according to Forest Fairy. She saw the dragons. She felt the energy of the Christ consciousness, the water, the Magdalenes, the magic. Becomes our higher selves. We are the unicorns and the rainbow butterflies of the Hopi prophecy. And this is our daily armor of God invocation. Let's put on this armor of God so that we can do our grid work. Today we rise in light. Today we walk as flame. We put on the helmet of truth. Our minds are clear. We wear the breastplate of light. Our hearts are pure. We lift the shield of faith. No shadow may enter. We move mountains, just like Yeshua told us we would. That's changing timelines. Here's a big old lucky hug for everyone in here, creating and empowering yourself. We wield the sword of spirit. Our voice is power. We stand in the shoes of peace. We walk with purpose. Our grid is sealed. Our flame is online. Our codex is alive. We are the love. We are the light. We are the truth. We are. On July 25th, we are holding mass meditations at 11:11 a.m. and 11:11 p.m. worldwide for peace, unity, respect, and love, creating the new earth, and doing so much more. I haven't even gotten into what that meditation is going to entail, but it's going to be powerful. Here's our healing chain, and all these people and places have asked us to connect our energy with theirs so that they can heal themselves. So however you do that, with light language, with Reiki, with crystal healing, or with prayer. I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael and have him connect his energy to all these beautiful people and places. And we're going to send them love, light, and healing energy now. Mia Satosh Koros Priyatama Korosiata. Mia Satosh Koros Priyatama Korosiata. Mia Satosh Koros Priyatama Korosiata.
Every scar became a hidden flame. Every loss still.
All right. This is our rainbow butterfly dream catcher. We work in the astrals, guys. Our physical body needs rest, but our spiritual body, our etheric body does not need rest. We work in the astral every night. We're doing so much work. We're building bridges. We are rescuing children's fragments. We are rescuing fragments for each other, for people on the planet. We are doing so much work together. Some of us, there's so much stuff that we do in the astral. So bring this with you. Put it in your mind's eye. Chris sent it to us. Put it in your mind's eye. Make sure you bring your dragon into the astral. Set intention that you bring your dragon and that you are fully protected with this beautiful light around your body. Whatever color light you want to use. Okay? So, don't forget to bring that with you before your head hits the pillow. All right, we're going to do our Brilliant Arc energy work. So, I want you to close your eyes, if you can, and picture this beautiful golden arc above and below the earth of energy. This is beautiful love energy, pure love. It's like source energy in this arc. And I want you to pull that energy into your heart and let it sit there for a moment. Let it grow and glow. And I want you to push it down into your solar plexus, down into your sacral chakra, down into your root chakra, and down, down, down into the earth star chakra. Once there, I want you to push it down into the center of the earth, the core of the earth. And then from there, I want you to see that beautiful golden, glowing ball of energy start going out and into the souls of all the people on the planet. From the souls, you're going to see it go up their root chakra and out through their crown chakra and up into the central sun. So there's a one-way line from source all the way down to the center of the earth and through that person. We got permission to do this because we need to spark these people's remembrance to who they are at a soul level. Just like we know who we are, they're getting sparked. I see it every day. I see the sparks that we put out. Whatever that looks like, it's an epiphany. It's a spark. It's a knowing who they are. So hold that thought. Whatever that looks like to you, hold that thought. Use your imagination. Remember, your imagination is a connection to your higher self. And this is higher self work. This is 5D work. 5D and beyond, Spirit says. Okay, beautiful. Woo, I got goosebumps all up and down my back. You guys are powerful. We are so powerful in the work we do. Loving work. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. It's a giving. It's giving. It's service to others that we do. Service to others. Okay. we're going to get into conversations with God. This is a conversation between Neil and God, Neil Donald Walsh. And he wrote books because God commissioned him to write these books and answer these questions for all of us, because we all have these questions. And some of the questions you wouldn't even realize that are the answers to these questions are like, wow, God said that. I mean, come on now. If it resonates with you, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. I did read these books years ago, and as I'm reading them today, it's like totally different books. It's like with anything that we read in here together, it hits differently than when I first read it. So we're talking about the way we think about money and how we think that money is bad, and we don't associate God with money. So God says there's only one way to change all that. You have to change your thought about it. So Neil says, how can I change the way I think? The way I think about something is the way I think about something. My thoughts, my attitudes, my ideas were not created in a minute. I have to guess they are the result of years of experience, a lifetime of encounters. You are right about the way I think about money, but how do I change that? That's a really good question, because a lot of us think this way about money, right? And I'm going to go back and just, let's see. Let's see. Trying to find where they said. Okay, this is his thought. You carry a thought around that money is bad. You also carry a thought around that God is good. Bless you. Therefore, in your thought system, God and money do not mix. And that is how he thinks, and that is how a lot of us think. That's how I thought for a while. And God says, this could be the most interesting question in the book. The usual method of creation for most human beings is a 3-step process involving thought, word, and deed or action, right? The way I manifest is I think of it, I write it down, and I just keep thinking of it every day, and I manifest. I am a manifesting generator. First comes thought, the formative idea, the initial concept. Then comes the word. Most thoughts ultimately form themselves into words, which are often then written or spoken. This gives added energy to the thought, pushing it out into the world where it can be noticed by others. And finally, in some cases, words are put into action, and you have what you call a result, a physical world manifestation of what all started with a thought. Everything around you in your man-made world came into being in this way, or some variation of it. All 3 creation centers were used. But now comes the question, how to change a sponsoring thought? Yes, that is a very good question, and a very important one. For if humans do not change some of their sponsoring thoughts, humankind could doom itself to extinction. The most rapid way to change a root thought or sponsoring idea is to reverse the thought, word, deed process. Neil says, explain that. God says, do the deed that you want to have the new thought about. Then say the words that you want to have your new thought about. Do this often enough, and you'll train the mind to think a new way. Neil says, train the mind. Isn't that like mind control? Isn't that just mental manipulation? God says, do you have any idea how your mind came up with the thought it now has? Do you not know that your world has manipulated your mind to think as you do? Wouldn't it be better for you to manipulate your mind than for the world to? Would you not be better off to think the thoughts you want to think than those of others? Are you not better armed with creative thoughts than with reactive thoughts? Yet your mind is filled with reactive thought that springs from the experience of others. Very few of your thoughts spring from self-produced data, much less self-produced preferences. Your own root thought about money is a prime example. Your thought about money, it is bad, runs directly counter to your experience. It's great to have money. So you have to run around and lie to yourself about your experience in order to justify your root thought. You are so rooted in this thought. It never occurs to you that your idea about money may be inaccurate. So now what we are up to is coming up with some self-produced data. And that is how we change a root thought and cause it to be your root thought, not another's. You have one more root thought about money, by the way, which I've yet to mention. Neil says, what's that? And God says that there's not enough. In fact, you have this root thought about just about everything. There's not enough money. There's not enough time. There's not enough love. There's not enough water, food, compassion in the world. Whatever there is that's good, there's just not enough. This race consciousness of not enoughness creates and recreates the world as you see it. Okay, so I have two root thoughts, sponsoring thoughts to change about money. God says, oh, at least two, probably more. Let's see. Money is bad. Money is scarce. Money may not be received for doing God's work. That's a big one with you. Money is never given freely. Money doesn't grow on trees, when in fact it does. And money corrupts. Neil says, I see. I've got a lot of work to do. God says, yes, you do. If you're not happy with your present money situation, on the other hand, it's important to understand that you're unhappy with your present money situation because you're unhappy with your present money situation. And Neil says, sometimes you're hard to follow. And God says, sometimes you're hard to lead. Neil says, say, listen, you're the God here. Why don't you make it easy to understand? God says, I have made it easy to understand. Neil says, then why don't you just cause me to understand if that's what you truly want? God says, I truly want what you truly want. Nothing different and nothing more. Don't you see that is my greatest gift to you? If I wanted for you something other than what you want for you, and then went so far as to cause you to have it, where's your free choice? How can you be a creative being if I am dictating what you shall be, do, and have? My joy is in your freedom, not your compliance. Neil says, okay, what did you mean? I'm unhappy with my money situation because I'm unhappy with my money situation. And God says, you are what you think you are. It's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious circle. When the thought is a negative one, you've got to find a way to break out of the circle. We talk about being in loops. That's the loops. That's the loops we talk about. So much of your present experience is based on your previous thought. Thought leads to experience, which leads to thought, which leads to experience. This can produce constant joy when the sponsoring thought is joyous. It can and does produce continual hell when the sponsoring thought is hellacious. The trick is to change sponsoring thought. I was about to illustrate how to do that. Neil says, go. God says, thank you. The first thing to do is reverse the thought, word, deed paradigm. Do you remember the old adage, think before you act? Wow. Yeah. I was just told about this like a few weeks ago. actually about reverse thought. So say you're out and you say something that you want to take back right away. You know you've said something into the universe that you want to take back. So you say to the universe, I reverse my thoughts. I reverse my thoughts. So God says, thank you. The first thing to do is reverse the thought, word, deed paradigm. Do you remember the old adage, think before you act? Neil says, yes. Think before you act. God says, well, forget it. If you want to change a root thought, you have to act before you think. Example. You're walking down the street and come across an old lady begging for quarters. You realize she's a bag lady and is living day to day. You instantly know that as little money as you have, you surely have enough to share with her. Your first impulse is to give her some change. There's even a part of you that's ready to reach into your pocket for a little folding money, a 1 or even a 5. What the heck? Make it a grand moment for her, light her up. Then thought comes in. What, are you crazy? We've only got $7 to get us through the day. You want to give her a 5, so you start fumbling around for that 1. Thought again. Hey, come on. You don't have that many of these that you can just give them away. Give her some coins, for heaven's sake, and let's get out of here. Quickly, you reach into the other pocket to try to come up with some quarters. Your fingers feel only nickels and dimes. You're embarrassed. Here you are, fully clothed, fully fed, and you're going to nickel and dime this poor woman who has nothing? You try in vain to find a quarter or 2. Oh, there's 1 deep in the fold of your pocket. But by now, you've walked past her, smiling wanly, and it's too late to go back. She gets nothing. You get nothing either. Instead of the joy of knowing your abundance and sharing, you now feel as poor as the woman. Why didn't you just give her the paper money? It was your first impulse, but your thought got in the way. Next time, decide to act before you think. Give the money. Go ahead. You've got it. And there's more where that came from. That's the only thought which separates you from the bag lady. You're clear there's more where that came from, and she doesn't know that. When you want to change a root thought, act in accordance with the new idea you have. But you must act quickly, or your mind will kill the idea before you know it. I mean that literally. The idea, the new truth, will be dead in you before you've had a chance to know it. So act quickly when the opportunity arises. And if you do this often enough, your mind will soon get the idea. It will be your new thought. Oh, I've just got something. Is that what's meant by the new thought movement? God says, if not, it should be. New thought is your only chance. It's your only real opportunity to evolve, to grow, to truly become who you really are. Your mind is right now filled with old thoughts. Not only old thoughts, but mostly someone else's old thoughts. It's important now. It's time now to change your mind about some things. This is what evolution is all about. A lot of you will say, well, I don't carry cash on me. I don't have change in my purse. I don't carry cash. I'm the same way. But I do carry cards, right? And if that situation happened to me, I'd be like, come with me. We'll go to the store together and I will buy you what you need. That's what I would do. And I have done that before. This lady wanted money and I didn't have any money, or any bills, but I brought her into the convenience store because it was right at the Family Dollar, and we went in and she picked out a few things. I think she bought junk. She really did, but I didn't say to her, you're buying junk. I didn't say that to her, even though I was thinking it. I think she bought like a honey bun in a Red Bull and, just junk. But I bought it for her And she was really, really happy and thankful and grateful. So, we do what we can do. But we don't always have, it's not the day and age to carry money on you, right? I carry cards. So that's what I would do in that situation, right? Exactly. Yuck. We think yuck paradise, but sometimes it's what people like and what they eat, Yeah. Yep. Okay. So Neil says, why can't I do what I really want to do with my life and still make a living? God says, what? You mean you actually want to have fun in your life and still earn your keep? Brother, are you dreaming? He says, what? God says, only kidding. Just doing a little mind reading, that's all. You see, that's been your thought about it. And Neil says, it's been my experience. God says, yes. Well, we've been all through this now a number of times. The people who make a living doing what they love are the people who insist on doing so. They don't give up. They never give in. They dare life not to let them do what they love. But there's another element that must be brought up because this is a missing element in most people's understanding when it comes to life work. And Neil says, what's that? And God says there's a difference between being and doing, and most people have placed their emphasis on the latter. And Neil says, shouldn't they? God says there's no should or should not involved. There's only what you choose and how you can have it. If you choose peace and joy and love, you won't get much of it through what you're doing. If you choose happiness and contentment, you'll find little of that on the path of doing this. If you choose reunion with God, supreme knowing, deep understanding, endless compassion, total awareness, absolute fulfillment, you won't achieve much of that out of what you're doing. In other words, if you choose evolution, the evolution of your soul, you won't produce that by the worldly activities of your body. Doing is a function of the body. Being is a function of the soul. The body is always doing something. Every minute of every day, it's up to something. It never stops. It never rests. It's constantly doing something. That's right. As long as you're breathing and your heart is going, it's doing something, right? Thank you, Paradise, for the angel beetles. Aren't they cute? I just love them. I feel like they were built for this community. They were made for this community. We manifested those little suckers. It's either doing what it's doing at the behest of the soul or in spite of the soul. The quality of your life hangs in the balance. The soul is forever being. It is being what it is being, regardless of what the body is doing, not because of what it's doing. If you think your life is about doing this, you do not understand what you are about. Your soul doesn't care what you do for a living, and when your life is over, neither will you. Your soul cares only about what you're being while you're doing whatever you're doing. It is a state of beingness the soul is after, not a state of doingness. And Neil says, what is the soul seeking to be? God says, me. Neil says, you? God says, yes, me. Your soul is me, and it knows it. What it is doing is trying to experience that. And what it is remembering, thank you guys for the gifts, thank you so much, is that the best way to have this experience is by not doing anything. There is nothing to do but to be. And Neil says, be what? God says, whatever you want to be. Happy, sad, weak, strong, joyful, vengeful, insightful, blind, good, bad, male, female, you name it. I mean that literally. You name it. Neil says, this is all very profound. But what does it have to do with my career? I'm trying to find a way to stay alive, to survive, to support myself and my family, doing what I like to do. God says, try being what you like to be. Neil says, what do you mean? God says, some people make lots of money doing what they do. Others can't make a go of it, and they're doing the same thing. What makes the difference? Neil says, some people have more skill than others. God says that's first cut, but now we get to the second cut. Now we're down to two people with relatively equal skills. Both graduated from college. Both were at the top of their class. Both understand the nature of what they're doing. Both know how to use their tools with great facility. Yet one still does better than the other. One flourishes while the other struggles. What's that about? Neil says location. God says location. Neil says, somebody once told me there are only 3 things to consider when starting a new business: location, location, and location. And God says, in other words, not what are you going to do, but where are you going to be? And Neil says, exactly. God says, that sounds like the answer to my question as well. The soul is concerned only with where you are going to be. Are you going to be in a place called fear or in a place called love? Where are you? And where are you coming from as you encounter life? Now, in the example of the 2 equally qualified workers, one is successful and the other one is not. Not because of anything either is doing, but because of what both are being. One person is being open, friendly, caring, helpful, considerate, cheerful, confident, even joyful in her work, while the other is being closed, distant, uncaring, inconsiderate, grumpy, even resentful of what she's doing. Now, suppose you were to select even loftier states of beingness. Suppose you were to select goodness, mercy, compassion, understanding, forgiveness, and love. What if you were to select godliness? What then would be your experience? I tell you this. Beingness attracts beingness and produces experience. You are not on this planet to produce anything with your body. You are on this planet to produce something with your soul. Your body is simply and merely the tool of your soul. Your mind is the power that makes the body go. So what you have here is a power tool used in the creation of the soul's desire. And I'm going to stop right there because the next question is, what is the soul's desire? It's funny because I get that question a lot in quantum healing also. What is the soul's desire? All right. That was cool. And now it is share time. If you would like to come up and share anything that we talked about today or anything that you want to share in particular, now is the time. This is called the Wild Irish Flower. Huh. All right. I'm just playing music that is not copyrighted. I love it. My TikTok, my YouTube for once was not copyright protected. I love it. So that means it got out to everybody. Okay. Does anyone want to come up? Anyone have any questions? You used to be copyright protected, Tammy B. You're funny. All right, I'm going to play the song that I made this morning called The Butterfly Sanctuary. And we'll just listen to some music, I guess. Or I could do cards. Does anyone need a card? Want a card? I'll do my psychic tarot cards. Anyone got a question that needs a card answered? Hey, Nunez. Good to see you. Sharon wants a card? All right. All right. What message do we got for Sharon today? You do have a question. Okay. All right. Oh. All right. Well, Sharon, you got financial and material changes. What we've been talking about. That's weird. Does that answer your question? Financial and material changes. Okay. Let's see what that means. It's your number 5. All right. Financial and material changes. Let's see. Oh, goodness. I opened right up to it. I guess we all need this message then, huh? Okay. This number 5 physical card represents changes, challenges, and losses. Usually related to material or financial concerns. You may be losing some of the things around you, but you must acknowledge and know that besides existing as a physical being, you're an incredible and resourceful spiritual entity. Use your powerful forces within to help you through this difficult period. Everything changes for a reason, and this time isn't meant to be a punishment. Know that your current conditions will transform for the better. A positive question to ask yourself now is, what did I learn from this and how can I avoid it in the future? Remember that there are lessons to be understood in everything. It's up to you and you alone to decide how long it will take for you to learn them. Did that answer your question? I don't know. Okay. Guess that was good. All right. Nunez. What cards want to come out for? Oh, gosh. I got 2 for you. 2 cards for you, Nunez. Oh, never mind. 3 cards. Oh, my goodness. Oh, goodness. You're going through a transformation, Nunez. You are Nunez. Nunez. Like Nunez business? Nunez business? You're going through a transformation. You need to rest and rejuvenate and recognition and reward. 3 card, 13 and 4. 3, 4, and 13. All right. So let's look at these. Your numbers? Okay. Let's see. Rest and rejuvenation, transformation. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see. Transformation. A time of endings is close at hand. Don't resist the abrupt changes that are suddenly happening in your life. These could be taking place in your personal life, relationships, business, or career. You have the strength, as the transformation card asks you to have courage and to know that renewal follows every conclusion. This card comes forth to remind you that the death of an old way of thinking and believing must occur before you can move forward on your new path. Transformation is all about the ebb and flow of life cycles. Nothing in this life remains motionless. Everything is on its way to somewhere. Accept changes and opportunity will come to expand you in more ways than you could have ever imagined. You can't live in the past. It's time to move on. In order to take the next positive step, you should look closely at your own life and ask yourself, are there loose ends that need to be tied up? Are there people in my life whom I need to express myself to? What needs to be completed so I can have a fresh start? When you do so, you'll have a stronger, more reinforced foundation to carry you through the new beginning that awaits you. All right, rest and rejuvenation. And also, guys, if these messages pertain to you, take them. Rest and rejuvenation. Let's see. $119. Okay. Rest and rejuvenate. Is that it? Yeah, rest and rejuvenate. This card implies that a period of rest, meditation, rejuvenation, and recuperation is in order. It usually comes forward when you're encountering or coming out of a particularly emotional or mentally taxing experience. The number 4 in numerology means foundation. So this is a time to heal, to be with your soul, and to continue moving steadily forward. Allowing space just for your reflection is both needed and long overdue. Reposing and taking moments for yourself will give you the opportunity to look at a problem or situation instead of being in it. It's a chance to stand back, view your life with clarity and renewed appreciation, and see where changes can be made to create a healthier and stronger foundation, enabling you to take your next step. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, Nunez. Wow. Okay. And recognition and reward. Okay. Recognition and reward. Okay. A reward for a job well done is what this card represents. It's a time of recognition for a completed project, hard work, skill, expertise, and craftsmanship. These abilities are now being honored, but don't forget to also pay homage to yourself. Pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. This card also comes forth to represent a family or group of people coming together, all of whom are aiming and striving toward a common goal. Accept the help that's being offered. More possibilities are in the works. So be sure to lay a solid foundation from your past achievements, and this will help you be ready for the next opportunity. In addition, this card is a reminder to take care of your physical body. After all, it's what carries your soul around in this material world. Yes, I would say those cards are definitely you and what you're going through. Yes, you are. You are super strong. And yes, you got this, girl. You got this. You never did not have it. You never did not have it. Yes. Yes. Me too. Me too. So I'll take that card too. All right. Hey, Jen Star. Hi, beautiful. Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Who else would want a card today? I love you. See, there's a reason why you came in here. Yes, Mama Yaya. I got you, girl. I got you. Mama Yaya would like a card. Mama Yaya would like a card, Spirit. What message does Mama Yaya need to hear today? Right there. Positive movement forward. Positive movement forward. Card 8. I love that for you. Positive movement forward. You are a true artisan, for you have the craft skills, knowledge, gifts, and talents to assist you even more to advance in a positive direction. The number 8 always denotes prosperity and abundance, but in this case, it's your efforts that have gotten you to this point. Good for you. This card often comes forth to honor and recognize individuals who are in the fields of art, design, music, and education. When you follow and build on your passion, the soul can truly express itself and can then assist you to move closer toward your highest good. An opportunity could suddenly come up with an offer for an apprenticeship. Notice if there are areas of passion that are trying to manifest in your world. When they arise, you'll have ample moments to share them with others. Yes, you're always sharing yourself with others. Yes. All right, VX, you're next, darling. That was awesome and so on point for Mama Yaya. BX. Christine, there it goes. It flew out of there. Holy cow. Base chakra, root chakra. You got the base chakra, girl. Red, Lam, Earth, Adrenal, I have. Known as the base or root chakra, this energy center is situated at the base of your spine and is most closely related to all of your earthly issues, such as survival, the physical body, issues of money, sustenance, safety, and shelter. To balance this chakra, practice yoga can be extremely beneficial. Dancing or light physical exercise will also help keep the energy flowing and harmonious. Honoring your body and taking care of it on the outside will bring you well-being on the inside. It works both ways. So that makes sense, right? Yep, you got the base chakra. Lisa, yes. Lisa. What do we got for Lisa today, Spirit? Oh, that's the one. Rest and rejuvenate, Lisa. Rest and rejuvenate. Didn't we already have? Yeah, we had this one earlier. Did you feel a pull towards that when I was reading it before? Rest and rejuvenate. You're welcome, darling. I love you so much. This card implies that a period of rest, meditation, rejuvenation, and recuperation is in order. It usually comes forward when you're encountering or coming out of a particular emotional or mentally taxing experience. The number 4 in numerology means foundation. So this is a time to heal, to be with your soul, and to continue moving steadily forward. Allowing space just for your reflection is both needed and long overdue. Reposing and taking moments for yourself will give you the opportunity to look at a problem or situation instead of being in it. It's a chance to stand back, view your life with clarity and renewed appreciation, and see where changes can be made to create a healthier and stronger foundation, enabling you to take your next step. Yes. Christ, love, light, you need one? Okay, girl. Let's get Christ, love, light. A card. Spirit. What message do we need for Christ, love, light? Christ, love, light. Oh, there we go. Oh, you got the base chakra also, girl. Base chakra. Going back to the basics. Yep. Red, Lam, Earth, Adrenal, I have. To balance this chakra, practice yoga. It can be very extremely beneficial. Dancing or light physical exercise will also help keep the energy flowing and harmonious. Honoring your body and taking care of it on the outside will bring you well-being on the inside. It works both ways. Yes. Pepsi. All right. By the way, Pepsi, Spirit wants you to know that the tachyon chambers are open to you. So set intention before you sleep at night into water that you're going to the tachyon chambers for your highest good and for your physical body, because your soul, your spiritual body is full of light and vigoration, but your physical body is where you're having the difficulties right now. So go to the tachyon chambers. It's basically a med bed on the ship, on the mothership. So do that. Okay. Oh. Look at that. Spiritual strength. Spiritual strength you got, Pepsi. You also got triumphant success and rest and rejuvenate. So, yeah. Your spirit is strong, like I just said. Spiritual strength, triumphant success, and rest and rejuvenate. And firm foundation came up too. But yes, I got you, Paradise. Let's see. Spiritual strength. I know this is just going to say exactly what I just said, but I'll read it anyway. Let's see. Spiritual strength. This card is coming forth to give encouragement and remind you that you have the inner strength to complete whatever you've been working on. This final spirit card represents courage, discipline, stability, and persistence. You may be tired or weary from the struggle, but now is not the time to give in. Instead, tap into all of your inner reserves for that one final push to achieve the desired outcome. You've been through so much to get to this point, and even though you may have acquired some scars from the battle, you're wiser and stronger for it. The enlightenment you've gained will be an invaluable resource. You may also notice that you're experimenting with different things in your life at this time. All of these experiences feed your spirit and offer you knowledge for the future. Yes. You're going to have success in just rest and rejuvenate. We've read this one a couple times. Beautiful. I told you, your spirit is strong. Your spirit is strong. All right, Paradise and Brandy. Paradise first. You're welcome, beautiful. You're so very welcome. Paradise. What do we got for Paradise? That's it. The waiting game. You are waiting on something. You're playing the waiting game right now. Let's see. This card indicates that you've worked hard to set things in motion in certain areas of your life, and you're now waiting for the results to come to fruition. The number 2 is all about choice and decision. In the past, you may have been afraid of making decisions or choices, but now you're no longer held prisoner by this fear or the constraints of old beliefs. Expect the best and be open to the limitless power of your intuition, which is presently very strong. Trust and use it to assist you. Achievement and success are assured, but once obtained, don't let it change you. Remember who you are, the effort that it took to get you to this point, and the gratitude you need to show to the people who helped you. Stay on your spiritual path, for it will continue to guide you on the journey of your soul. Yes, the waiting game. The waiting is almost over. Whatever you're waiting for. Yes, being patient. Yes. All right, Brandy. Brandy Rose, this is for you, darling. Brandy Rose. What card do we have for her today, Spirit? What message does she need to hear? And again, if any of these messages pertain to you, take them. Like, I think all of us need the rest one. We all need to rest. And all of us are spiritually strong. We are. All right, Brandy. Power. Power, Brandy. You got the power card. Yes, you're so welcome. Power card. And look, my thing's coming. My phone is dying. I have to change it out for a minute here. Stick that on there. I got 20% left. Gotta plug it in after class. Power. Take this card too, y'all. Y'all, Lyrans. We had Lyran card today. Yep. That's what that's about. Brandy, you know you're part Lyran. From the past, one of your past lives was as a Lyran. The power card. I believe that's a strength card. Okay. As a spiritual being, you have unlimited power at your command. This card represents inner strength, willpower, courage, compassion, generosity, and love. At any moment, these beautiful qualities can assist you in coping with an adverse condition in front of you or the many surrounding your life. Set aside the necessary time to resolve such issues. Power represents more than physical, external strength. It can also be channeled emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. When you have balance over body, mind, and soul, and with the power of spirit, anything can be overcome to achieve a positive result. Power and strength can be developed to work in harmony in any given situation. Every obstacle, every error helps build your knowledge and understanding of the world around you. When you make a mistake, it's a chance for you to stop, listen, and ask yourself, what am I supposed to be learning here, and how can I make this situation better? Mistakes are great wake-up calls in that they provide you with opportunities to discover your weaknesses, what needs to be changed, and which areas of your life need improving. Equally, they can be blessings in disguise. Just remember, you are power. You are power. All right. Anyone else want a card before we work on our 8th chakra with the Son of Orion? You're welcome. Financial and material changes for you, Teresa. We read that one earlier too. Oh, I didn't have the power card in there, but that's all right. That's all right. Got 3 minutes left. Financial and material changes. Number 5 physical card represents changes, challenges, and losses, usually related to material or financial concerns. You may be losing some of the things around you, but you must acknowledge and know that besides existing as a physical being, you're an incredible and resourceful spiritual entity. Use your powerful forces within to help you through this difficult period. Everything changes for a reason. And this time isn't meant to be a punishment. Know that your current conditions will transform for the better. A positive question to ask yourself now is, what did I learn from this, and how can I avoid it in the future? Remember that there are lessons to be understood in everything. It's up to you and you alone to decide how long it will take for you to learn them. Yes. Hi, sunshine. Hi, beautiful. Yep. All right, I'm going to pull one more card for our collective. One more card for the collective. What's the roundabout message for our collective today, Spirit? Material and spiritual prosperity. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. Thank you, Spirit. Everything works out for the best for all of us. Yes, it does. Material and spiritual prosperity. Ooh, I'm going to have to read this fast. I can find it fast. The number 6 physical card represents a peaceful, tranquil time when problems seem to actually disappear. A sudden bonus, pay raise, or even a promotion could be in the offering. It could be expected or arrive out of the blue. This card may also signify a group that has worked and strived toward the success of a common goal. A time of prosperity, balance, and harmony in your physical and spiritual existence is showing you that the practice of giving and receiving will bring you true riches. Look into your life and see where you can spread spiritual and physical wealth. Is there a person or a favorite charity that would welcome an act of kindness right now? Practice generosity, gratitude, and compassion so that you can continue to prosper in all areas of your life. Yes, beautiful message for our community, our group, the work we do. All about that. All right, the Song of Orion. Let's work on our 8th chakra. Right, meow. Here we go. Make sure it's all the way up. It is.
Song of Orion, the Aria Kumnal.
Song of Orion. Song of Orion.
Om Medari Patuma, Om Medari Patuma, Patuma Edeta Ekuna, Om Medari Patuma, Tretila Iduruna, Tretila Iduruna, Duruna Ekanta Ekuna, Om Medari Patuma, Om Medari Patuma, Om Medari Patuma, Patuma Ekanta Ekuna, Om Medari Patuma, Tretila Iduruna, Tretila Iduruna, Duruna Ekanta Ekuna, Om Medari Patuma, Om Medari Patuma, Om Medari Patuma, Patuma Ekanta Ekuna, Om Medari Patuma, Tretila Iduruna, Tretila Iduruna, Duruna Ekanta Ekuna, Om Medari Patuma.
And we did it. Yay! Everybody just have an amazing, amazing day today. Go out and sparkle and shine. Be authentic and love. Spread that love because you are loved. Namaste. My soul knows your soul, angels, and I love you all. Have a beautiful day. All right. Here we go. What the heck? Ending.